Okay. Would you mind if I sit him on my lap?
No, he's fine.
Sometimes, the world remembers a man not for his power, not for his wealth, but for his kindness. Judge Frank Caprio was one of those rare people. Known across the globe as America's nicest judge, he turned a simple courtroom into a place of hope and humanity. And today, with heavy hearts, we share the news that Judge Frank Caprio has passed away at the age of 88. Frank Caprio's story began on November 23, 1936, in Providence, Rhode Island. He was the son of hard-working Italian immigrants. His father delivered milk and sold fruit from a cart, while his mother cared for the home. They didn't have much, but what they did have was love, respect, and the belief that kindness mattered. From those humble beginnings, young Frank dreamed big. He studied history, became a high school teacher, and inspired students before following another calling, law. In 1965, he graduated from Suffolk University Law School, ready to bring fairness and compassion into the world of justice. Caprio's journey into public life began in 1962, when he was elected to the Providence City Council. For 16 years, he worked to improve the lives of everyday people in his city. Then in 1985, he was appointed Chief Judge of the Providence Municipal Court. But what made him truly unforgettable was not the robe he wore, or the bench he sat on, it was the way he treated people who stood before him. In his courtroom, something extraordinary happened. Through the TV show Caught in Providence, the world watched how Judge Caprio handled the smallest cases with the biggest heart. A man who couldn't afford a parking ticket, a mother struggling to pay her fines while raising children, a little boy who spoke up for his dad in court. Instead of punishment, Caprio often gave them understanding. Instead of judgment, he gave them hope. Clips of these moments spread online, on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and soon millions of people around the world were watching. They weren't watching just a judge. They were watching humanity in action. Caprio often said, "The law must be served, but it must be served with compassion." And that single belief made him a global symbol of kindness. In December 2022, Caprio shared heartbreaking news: he had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Yet even in his struggle, he never lost his smile, never lost his gratitude. He thanked people for their prayers, their support, and their love. And then, on August 20, 2025, Judge Frank Caprio passed away peacefully at the age of 88. In one of his last messages on Facebook, he left a gentle farewell, thanking his family, his friends, and the millions of strangers who had become part of his journey. His final words were as compassionate as the life he lived. Judge Frank Caprio was more than a man in a courtroom. He was proof that kindness can change lives. He showed us that even when the law must be followed, mercy must never be forgotten. The news of his passing has left millions around the world heartbroken. But his smile, his words, and his compassion will live on forever in the stories he shared and in the lives he touched. If Judge Caprio's life inspires you, take a moment to carry his message forward. Like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Because as Judge Caprio taught us, justice is important, but humanity always comes first.
And I'm coming to you again, asking you to remember me in your prayers once more. And so I ask you again, if it's not too much, that you can remember me in your prayers.